Hello and welcome to Wednesday Live with Evie, number 16. Today's topic is envy, jealousy, and annoyance, and what does it have to do with your business? So before we get started, I want to introduce myself. My name is Evie Burke, and I help women entrepreneurs take their productivity to a new level. And if you're new here, I want to share a couple of things with you that you might not know about. One is I have a freebie on my website. You can find that over at oneinsightcloser.com. And that freebie is ending entrepreneurial, well, no, that's not what it's called. Let's do that again. That freebie is called How to Choose Priorities When Everything is Important. And it will help you end your entrepreneurial overwhelm. It's a tool I created for myself probably about 4 or so years ago now when I was really feeling just completely overwhelmed with everything that I had going on, and I wanted to do more and have new experiences in my business, but just no idea how to do that. And I just sat down and I did a brain dump, and this is the process that I walked myself through. And so I put it in a nice workbook form for you, and you can go to my website, oneinsightcloser.com, and you can download that, How to Choose Priorities When Everything is Important. And one of the ladies who downloaded it, my friend Missy, she said that, I'm quoting, so I'm going to look down and read this, "Seriously amazing. I feel like I just officially pushed down the reset button." So if you're feeling like you need a reset in your business, if you're feeling completely overwhelmed, head over to the website and get that freebie. I'll put that in the links below here in a minute. And also, another thing that's out there for you, if you don't already know, is the Productivity for Women Entrepreneurs Facebook group. And that's a private Facebook group that is exactly what it sounds like. It's for women entrepreneurs. And as a recent member recently said to me, she described it as a great and safe place to be honest, help each other, and get better about productivity. And that's exactly what it is. So I would love to know, as people are joining on, I would love to know, what about today's topic, envy, jealousy, and annoyance, interested you? What are you hoping to learn today, or how is it showing up for you? And what are you looking to get from today's Facebook Live? Is there any particular question you have, or anything in particular that you're looking for? So while you guys think about what you're looking for, I am going to share this post a couple of places so more people can find us live. And I'm going to try it a different way, one that will potentially not take me 5 minutes to figure out how to share it. So we'll see what happens here. So again, today's topic, this is Facebook, or not Facebook, this is Wednesday Live with Evie number 16. And the topic is envy, jealousy, and annoyance, and what those have to do with your business and what you can learn from them. So I shared in my article on Monday that I was listening to a podcast that talked about two different ways to look at envy. And I really liked the way that it was worded, and it reminded me of a way to look at things that annoy you or things that you're jealous about that I hadn't thought about for a while. So the podcast that I mentioned was Jonathan Fields. I don't remember who he was talking to. I think it was a podcast from last summer. I've been slowly going through catching up with his podcast. And he and his guests talked briefly about envy, and envy having two parts to it. And maybe not two parts, but two different sides. Like, it can show up in two different ways. So there's one part of envy that I think we most commonly think of, like the biblical coveting part of it, where, we just want something somebody else has, and it kind of eats at us a little bit. And so that's the unhealthy kind of envy. That's the kind of envy that if you see that happening, you want to figure out what's going on and you want to get rid of it, because that kind of envy that eats at you is not healthy. The kind that festers, or, you know, you get mad about or really upset. You know, that kind of envy destroys relationships and it destroys you. So that's not the kind of envy you want. And then there's the other kind of envy, the kind of envy that lets you know that, oh, that's something that I want. Like, you're envious of somebody's successful business, and it kind of lets you know, oh, that's something that maybe I want for myself. And if you're able to take that and learn from it, thank you for the hearts, I think that was Chris I saw. If that's something that you can take and learn from, then that's a positive envy. You recognize it's happening and you're using it to grow. So that's where you want envy to be. You want envy to be the, how can I learn from it? What is it telling me about myself? Versus, oh, I really hate that successful business owner. Look at all the bad things that they're doing, and you just kind of use it to eat it yourself. One of the other things I mentioned is, I know for myself sometimes, there are certain people that they're not my people. I don't want to work with them. And there's one coach in particular that's very prominent in the business world, or not the business, but the entrepreneurial world, that I know she's not my person. I know that hiring her would not be a good move for me. And that's fine. And I also know she does a lot of good for the people that she does work with. However, me saying that's not my person can also be a way to dismiss something that maybe needs to be looked at a little bit more. I just wanted to throw that in there. You know, look for how you're maybe dismissing things so that they don't annoy you, and so you're not really giving them the ability to teach you maybe something that they could teach you. So taking this a little bit deeper though, there's some different things that, you know, when you look at that side of envy that's helpful, the things that are trying to teach you, there's some different ways to kind of go into looking at what is it teaching you. When you're feeling envious of somebody, when you're jealous of somebody, when there's somebody that just annoys the crap out of you, there's a couple of different questions that you can ask to kind of help dig yourself into that, what it means, not necessarily dig yourself into the envy and, you know, fester there. So when something, you know, really, again, you find yourself jealous or annoyed or envious of someone, you might look at what the values are. Is there a value there that conflicts? So are their values different than your values? In which case, yeah, you're going to be annoyed, you're going to be upset. You might not be jealous, but you're probably going to be annoyed and bothered by them because they have different values than you. So if you can recognize that they have different values and see how those values are supporting them in the way that they're doing things, then it can help you take a step back from that festering, right? And just recognize we have different values, that's what's going on there. Another thing that can happen is if there is a, maybe not a value, but if there's something that they do that either you used to do or you currently do that you have a judgment as being bad around, and you see somebody else doing it, that's going to, you're going to have that bad judgment for them. You're going to have that annoyance. You might have, you know, that bothering. So just recognize that this is something that annoys you about yourself, or used to annoy you about yourself, or something you feel that you did or currently do that's bad. That may not actually be bad, but recognize that that's the connotation you have with it right now. The other thing, this is especially for jealousy and envy, is they have something that you want. So, it might be a successful business. It might be, you're envious of somebody because of the amount of time they get to spend with their kids, and you feel like, the way your life is going right now, you're being pulled in 5 different directions. What is it that they have that you want? What is it that is going on there that you feel isn't attainable for you? So it's bothering you when somebody else has that. And, in the car example, if somebody has a car and you're jealous of that car, is it really the car that you want, or is it the lifestyle or the business or the fill in the blank that allows them to have that car? Really look at what's going on for you there. And there's a flip side to it. When you find somebody that you really admire, when you find somebody that you really respect and things about them that you're like, oh, gee, that's really fabulous, and I wish I had that, know that there's probably a shared value there. You're recognizing something that you do well, something that you view as good that they're also doing, and so you're seeing some potential for yourself there. Or you're seeing something that you wish you could do. You're seeing unconsciously potential for yourself in them. So the cool thing is when you can recognize those things in others, when you can recognize that the reason that you respect that person is something that you have a seed of in yourself that can grow. Like, that's why we're attracted to some people, right? And I don't mean attracted like sexually attracted. I mean the people who are your people, the people that you just want to spend time with, your friends, or the people that you want to be your friends. There's something that you see in them that you recognize yourself, and you want to grow that. So what does all of this have to do with productivity? What does all of this have to do with your business? So this more has to do with your business, and it does affect your productivity. When you see somebody that you respect, when there's somebody out there that annoys the crap out of you, when there's somebody that you're jealous of, when you find yourself just so envious of someone else, take a step back and look at what you might want to add or change or subtract from your business that will help you either achieve those results or get closer to whatever it is that you're coming up against. So for the example of maybe you're very envious or very respectful or a huge fan of a business, a certain business, and you're recognizing that, this is one of the things that they're doing to grow their business that I think is so great. So when you're looking at the things that you're doing in your business, how can you add a little bit of that into your business? And maybe it's a particular strategy that you're looking at and saying, look at how they're using Facebook or LinkedIn or fill in the blank. And you can look at how you might use that strategy for yourself, so you can add that to your goals and the things that you want to do. Or maybe it's a lifestyle that they're having. Now, my caveat for lifestyle is if you're looking at somebody through Facebook or LinkedIn or any of the social media, the lifestyle that they're purporting to have might not be the full picture. Because with social media, you can really get to pick and choose what you're sharing, right? So, some people who talk about, I had this $100,000 launch or this $20,000 launch, and what they're not telling you is that it costs them $15,000 or more to have that $20,000 launch, right? So their net benefit is $5,000 or less, because they're paying for Facebook ads, they're paying for people to help them, they're paying for all of these other things that really brings down the actual income that they're having. So when you're looking to emulate somebody you see online and they're talking about these huge successes that they have and you're wanting to emulate that, notice that that's what you want, but also know that they're sharing only as much as they want to share. So that's just my little caveat there. But again, when you see those things, it affects your business because it might give you a direction to grow. If you notice that, that's a sidetrack. We won't go down that sidetrack. But also notice maybe if it's something that you're avoiding in your business. Does somebody post a challenge on Facebook and you roll your eyes and go, oh, well, that's ridiculous. Why should I do that? That's not going to help my business. Take a step back and look at, okay, why am I so annoyed by this post? What am I avoiding anything? You know, do I not want to pick up the phone? Do I not want to send emails? Do I not want to be visible? Am I scared of showing up on social media or in front of people, or, you know, anything? It could be anything, but, you know, take that look into yourself and see what is it that might be going on there, and decide how you want to adjust your business or shift your business to accommodate that. Sometimes when you really notice someone who's doing something that is really great and you find there's a little voice in the back of your head saying, I could do that. Maybe it's signaling that it's a shift in your business it's time to happen. So just be aware, notice what you're feeling, notice if you're annoyed, notice if you're feeling envious, notice if you're feeling jealous, and notice when you're excited for someone, notice when you are a huge fan of someone. What is it about them that you love, and how can you bring more of that into what you do? Or, you know, in the case of the jealous and the envious and the annoyed, how can you look at, you know, what is it about them that, or the situation that annoys you, and how can you grow from that, and how can you learn from it? Now, another caveat is sometimes they are honestly just not your people, and that's fine. There's some people that you can love and they can annoy you, and you can recognize that it's because there's a different value there, and that's just how it's going to be, and you don't want to change your values, and that's fine. But being aware of it can really go a long way to understanding who that person is, and also changing the way you talk about them. Because if you understand why someone annoys you, like why that bothers you, then instead of going, oh, can you believe what so-and-so said or what so-and-so did, you can go, oh, well, you know, yeah, they did that because this is something that they value, and I don't value that. And you know what? That's okay. So you can move on. So it changes the energy, even in the relationship with that person that you have. Even in the relationship that you have with that person, when you can understand why you're annoyed by them and what's going on. So I think that's about all I have. If you guys have any questions on this, you know, let me know. There's a lot here. But again, with envy, with jealousy, with annoyance, with even respect, it can be like little notes, little like knocks that we're getting from ourselves, from the universe, that are saying, hey, pay attention to this. Hey, this might be something that you want to add to your business, or look at how you're handling that in your business. So it's super important both for our business growth and for our personal growth sometimes to pay attention to things like envy, jealousy, and annoyance. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I will come back and I will answer them. Again, if you're somebody who's feeling overwhelmed and you're looking for just a way to get all of it out of your head and you know how to process it and next steps, head over to the website One Insight Closer and check out How to Choose Priorities When Everything is Important. And if you're looking for a great Facebook group full of supportive women, head over to Productivity for Women Entrepreneurs. One of the things that we do there is we ask, what is your priority for this week? And then we ask you again I ask you again at the end of the week, how are you doing with that? How are you feeling from the week? And it's a really great place because if something doesn't get done, there's no judgment. I might ask, hey, let's talk about that. What's going on? But there's no judgment there about, well, why didn't you get that done? It's all done with love and support. So I would love to have you over there. And, let me know, what are your thoughts about envy, jealousy, and annoyance? What has it taught you? What are the lessons that you've learned from it? So again, my name is Evie Burke. I work with women entrepreneurs and I help them take their productivity to a new level. And if you want to talk with me about that, just let me know. So anyway, until next week, where we'll have, what will it be, number 17 next week. So until then, have a great week and much love.